And now then, people, welcome back to the Just Your Football Show. It seems like a minute since I've done one of these. I tell you what, my camera looks a little bit sketchy there, doesn't it? To the mic there for a second. I just wanted to have a little clean here because it looks a bit. Hang on. Maybe it's this. Yeah, it was. It was the outside lights. See, I hope you're all doing well. Smash me a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, and of course, hit that notification bell. We're pivoting slightly today. We're going to be talking about Nottingham Forest and Big Ange. Big Ange, what mate? Back in the Premier League. And Nuno, what did I tell you about the race to Nuno? The race to Nuno Espírito Santo has begun. Someone will sack their manager and Nuno will be brought in. But look, folks, you only bring Nuno in if your manager needs sacking. Our manager doesn't need sacking. What's he going to change? What's he going to change? Leeds have already, just for Leeds fans, just want to say, before I talk about this madness, and I believe it is madness, Potter's gone. Potter's gone. Potter's gone. No, he's not. Potter's not been sacked, Kieran. No, you're lying to me. I thought you meant Potter had been. Oh, hang on, what's this? Surprise award. No, you're lying to me. Don't do that, Kieran. Don't do that. But before I did dinner, what did I say, Alfie? I predicted this would happen ages ago, time ago. I said this would happen, that he would be sacked. I did not expect it to be 3 games in. I thought it might take a little bit of league form to drop because of European football and then he'd be sacked. But as it were, it's not even taken that. That needs moving, but it's doing anything. I mean, it looks straight on there, but it isn't straight behind me. Trust me. I need to get spirit level out. So I did predict this shit would happen. You're right. Call me Nostradamus. I'm good at this stuff. But Leeds fans that want Nuno in now, tell me what he'll change. He make us more defensively sound. We are already defensively sound. We've conceded low XG in both the Newcastle and Everton game. Forget Arsenal. It happens. It happens to Forest. It happens to Nuno's Forest. They do get slapped up. They got beat 3-0 by West Ham just before international break. These results can happen. Surprise results. But in all, the 3 games that we've played, the games against Everton and Newcastle, name me one big chance that they had. Nada. None. So what's Nuno actually going to change? Nothing, really. Nothing. Doesn't change the personnel that we've got. Do you see what I'm saying? So those that will be saying, get him in now, there's no need. No need. You only need to bring Nuno in if Farke's failing, and then you sack him. Of course, he might not be available then, but I have enough faith in our current manager and our current crop of players that will stay in this division regardless. So I just wanted to say that first and foremost, right? Because there'll be a lot of people out there who'll be saying, no. And I'm a big component of Nuno. All you have to do is go look on my Twitter, which I'm going to share with you now, where I was asking for Nuno, under ridicule, by the way, under ridicule from Leeds fans. I was asking for this guy long before when we sacked, before we got Gracia. When we sacked Gracia, you will see, there we go. The mad thing is both Nuno won the, let me zoom in on this. I'll show you, like, I've been a big component of Nuno for a long time. If we did go down, it's a no-brainer. That's when I was saying bring either Rafa Benitez or Nuno. Rafa or Nuno walking into West Ham whilst our lot is still scratching their asses. If Leeds appoint Nuno, I will say with chest now, we will stay in the Premier League. This was 2023. Not everyone will agree, and I really like Skubala, but it's just too much of a risk. I get people don't rate the brand of football, but Nuno is a safe pair of hands. Again, February, all I have to do is have a look at these tweets in response, and they will say, oh, give over, rubbish, you know, all that sort of stuff. Not as safe as Jesse, but you've always had an agenda against him. My man thought Jesse's better than fucking Nuno. I agree. Not a big fan of Nuno. Tricky one, big gamble. Looking like Skubala. The fact that we even give Skubala Man United games is a bit of a madness. Yeah, I did say that there. That was this year. Nuno guarantees us minimum 8 points in these games. Get Nuno in. Anything's better than Big Sam. Yeah, just a lot of basically. There's a lot of Nuno prop, right? And if Farke does go, Nuno's available. I'll be back on that again. But my point is, so I'm a big advocate of Nuno Espírito Santo and have been for a while. But my point is, right now we don't need to bring him in because our manager is totally fine. He's great. I like him. That's me. Of course, some will just want him in anyway because, it is what it is. Yeah. And there you go. It's quite funny, actually. There's a Tactico there who's deleted a tweet. That's funny. Yeah. Yeah, anyway, I'm just looking at old tweets there, just looking at some of the responses, etc. If you haven't already, smash me a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, of course, and hit that notification bell. We're going to talk about this madness that is Nuno being sacked. Before I do, though, let's have a dip into the comments. I just know the Farkaters will be scrambling for Nuno, 100%. Yes, Joe, it's written all over for Nuno and Leeds in the next international break. The manager will still be here because we'll get results. If he doesn't get results, if we lost all 4 and we were poor, I'd be also a component of that as well. Please know this. Nuno go to West Ham, Potter will be sat before Farke. I'm not too sure. I'm good, Danilito. Thanks for coming a member, mate. He might go back to Wolves, especially with their run of losses. That's a good shout as well, Ian. Here is a Forest fan. If Nuno isn't happy with the 200 million backing, then he won't be happy with the 49ers. I think my point here is, and we'll talk about the particulars of why he's gone, but he's probably felt undermined, right? And any manager who's running the football club, Marinakis is a madman. He is. Anyone's a madman with new ideas until they become the norm, or whatever that fucking phrase is. I get it, but he is a madman. He's the Greek Shug Knight. He's the Greek father. You know what I mean? We know about Marinakis. It's not even about the money spent. It's probably the balance of the squad. Maybe Nuno doesn't like. We'll get into the particulars anyway. We will do. You'll be able to give me some more. I need to watch what I'm saying with Forest fans as well, because last time I mocked the Chris Wood signing and I got cooked for it. So big up the Forest fandom. Forest owners need to realise where they were just 2 years ago. Exactly. He gave them the highest finish since forever. Since 1995. So they're in European competition. That's why I think it's a madness. Not using Edu players, Naka, Nuno, exactly. If Farke goes in the future, I'd take Nuno, 100%. Nuno's stock is higher than Leeds anyway, he wouldn't come. Give over. You're forgetting who we are, bro. Relax. You've got to have a laugh at Wolfie. Tell me about it. I've already tried to get him on, but he's working. He's got a full job, full time. And we were going to chat tonight, but you can imagine he'll be busy. So I was like, listen, don't worry about it because he's working and then he'll be streaming and that. But it is madness. We will get to speak to him at some point, even if it's Wednesday. Probably land a decent European gig. Premier League's where it's at, mate. Tommy K, you're that Forest troll. What you saying? He's coming for him. He's coming for him. What a nightmare appointment. Imagine Murillo Milenkovic on the half turn on the halfway line playing Angeball with the spacing behind. The fullbacks are fairly functional and static too. Here's the point as well, Danny B. This is a turn up for the books for fantasy managers because a lot of people have sells. I myself have got Murillo on one of my teams on the Sun Dream team. Thankfully, I don't have any Forest defenders on fantasy Prem. But yeah, it's mad because I've got 2 Spurs defenders. I've got Porro and Van de Ven, whereas I wouldn't have had them last season. And now I'm like, ooh, do I want Forest assets? Because we know they're going to concede a hell of a lot of chances right now of Forest. But attacking, now you might be looking at the signings they've brought in, your McAtees. Will Wood play as prominent a part when they've got Callum Owendo? Do you know what I mean? So we might see him change. And that's part of the reason why Nuno's gone, right? Because of his reluctance maybe to be happy with the signings that they got, whereas Ange will be coming in totally different. Ange is a disaster appointment. I actually don't think Ange is a bad manager. I think he's very much in the guise of Bielsa. I do think Spurs, with where they want to be as a football club, it was always going to struggle. But at Forest, it could work. It genuinely could work. obviously, defence is an issue. And listen, if it don't work, I've said before, and I've been saying on panel shows, right? Eventually, this will come down on Forest, and the reason it will is because he'll end up going through a season one time where he's got 3 or even maybe 4 managers because he doesn't mess about. Listen, Ange could be gone in 6 games. It's that mad with this guy, right? If Ange was to go on, right, bearing in mind they're playing in Europe, right? So let's say he struggle. I mean, he's 11-1 to go win back-to-back European competitions. Maybe that's why your man Marinakis has brought him in. But my point is, it won't be mad. Let's say he couldn't get a tune out of the defence, right? He loses 4 or 5 games. Marinakis will sack him. And then they'll be on to the third manager. Do you know what I mean? And I just think it could end up, regardless of how good your squad is, how much you spend, you can go down. Can go down. Listen, I remember QPR, and I'm not putting Forest anywhere close to QPR. Please know this, Forest fans. But I remember QPR when they spent a shit ton of money. Bringing in players from Madrid and stuff. They went down. They brought Rio Ferdinand played there for a little bit before he realised it's time to hang up the boots. They brought in a load of players, still went down. You know, and I could just see a situation in where all it takes is one poor appointment. I say this about Brighton. They don't have that heritage. Forest do, I guess, but it's old school. I mean, we don't really right now in the Premier League era, right? After the decade or so. But that heritage, that all it takes is for Brighton to make the wrong appointment and they could become unstuck. That's what Bournemouth the same. I put Brentford in that bracket as well. Because they don't have the financial might. Forest probably do, though, right? I think they're a massive club. So madness if anyone thinks Farke. No, he doesn't. No. Not as safe as Jesse as an all-timer, Kieran. It's a mad. The Jesse fanboys were out in force. I think as well, I'm having a look. I'm going to try my best because my daughter's at football. My car's back. I've got my car back, folks. If you haven't watched my watch-along from yesterday, please do. It's a lot of fun. Because I wanted to see if I could get back in time for Wales versus Canada. Because my Welsh boys, Rodon's not there, Ampadu's not there. So it's only really Dan James and Harry Wilson, if he'd have signed, taking on Jesse. Trust me, if Rodon and that had made sure I were back. But 3 wins in 15, by the way. What's that? Who's that? Forest. Nuno. You try to say he should be sacked. Is that what you try to say? Come on, bro. This is copium. December aside, we was pretty average, bro. You finished in Europe. Come on, don't do this to yourself. Don't do this to yourself. I said more times than I can count, Joe, about Nuno as a Forest fan. He's a safe pair of fans. We've had to move on. The job is different now with the signings that's been made, and he wasn't fair. You could say you want to go to that next level, Owen. I just think it's maybe a little bit too soon, bro. Maybe. What's your take on Ange? Wolfie is finito, I know, right? He could go back to Wolves, definitely. I wouldn't want that either, because I reckon he keeps them up. Do you know what I mean? Whoever he goes to, if I'm honest. Wait for 10 games, guys. Same players, no matter coaches. Yeah, George, true. And smacks of desperation. No, man. I mean, Marinakis, they were speaking, I've read, as early as the start of August. Do you know what I mean? I think this was always going to happen. He's got a good working relationship with Ange. They've worked together before, I believe. So don't be surprised, or I'm not surprised that Ange is the way they've gone. I would love Nuno, but now we've got Farke. We need to give him time and see where we are in 10 games. He's the head coach. He doesn't pick our signings. That's fair. He wanted Adama and Christensen for feck's sake. I agree with you on the Adama shout. It is a bit of a mad one. Yes, this is true. Hazardous. The problem was Nuno publicly slagged the owner off. He did. Gonna have to take my Forest defenders out. Yeah, not a big Farke fan, but we need changes. Farke needs to be given. But we don't need changes, sorry. Yeah. Farke needs to be given the games to see if we're likely to survive. 100% Kieran, I don't disagree with you. Honestly. How have you been? Have you been for a tetanus after sitting in that van? Madness. People don't know, man. I did a vlog, went to Leeds yesterday to get my car, met up with an American Leeds fan who came over actually and wanted to meet me. And we had a good day in and around Leeds, but I got in Jack City's van. Oh my God. Oh my God. For anyone who hasn't watched the vlog, I'm going to show you his van, but I need you to watch the vlog, right? But I need you to watch. We'll look at this. I'm going to share it with you so you can have a look. This is Jack City's van, right? Big up Jack City, my brother, right? You ready?
What is that? Look at this, people. What is that?
Welcome to what is known as the footwell.
People, look at state of this, man. If you watch Friends, yeah, you know that Friends episode I'm on about, don't you?
Not really.
No.
How bad's that, man?
Look at
Tell him.
that.
Not my thing, that.
Okay,
It's
now,
expressive.
Jackie boy, do you think that's acceptable?
I think it's the polite way of.
In a quarter of a mile, turn right onto
Mad
Meanwood.
guy. But yeah, if you haven't watched that vlog, please do. Please do. It was a load of fun. Go watch it after you've watched this. They're in the bottom half for any prolonged length of time with this squad. Ange will get sacked. 100%. That's what I'm saying. There's no time with this manager. Big up to Boston. Hope you're doing well. Nuno will be a step up. Then, Fark, we don't need to sack our manager now. Ange's very close to the owner, though. Yeah, he is. Wolfie's going to have a heart attack, definitely. Ange's a winner. Oh, he's a winner. I mean, you can't, to be honest, you can't disagree with that, actually. You can't. Second season, Ange always wins a trophy. Maybe he'll win it in his first season at Forest. Forest, did you not finish 17th a year ago? You backed Nuno in for that season when he was doing trash. So why is Ange getting sacked quickly if you're in the bottom half? I think Forest have gone on now, Daniel, I would say, in terms of the personnel they've brought in, and Marinakis will want up, is what I'm saying. Yeah, this is what I'm at. He knows where they're at, right? He definitely hasn't, Steve. And Jack's disgusting car. Yeah, thank you, Danny. Thank you, mate. Thank you. It was a lot of fun, man. Ange's a farcical appointment. I don't think he's a bad manager, personally. Ange last season had underperforming players and bad injuries. No one could have won. Yes, they could have. Yes, they could have, Nick. What are we doing? What are we doing here, Nick? So we try. This is copium now. You like saying, oh, well, you know, this is why he did poorly in the league. Come on. Big Ange, my manager, says Tottenham Ranger. Yeah, his missus told him to, and he went, nah, man, nah. Ange's second-year trophy will be them winning the championship. Ooh. Leeds should get Nuno. Not quite yet. Not quite yet. But if the manager was sacked, then 100% I'd be on board. But there's no need to sack the manager right now, yeah? So we don't even need to discuss that, in my opinion. We're going to talk about what's actually happened and how this is unfolded as well, folks. But before we do, I just want to quickly give you a shout to this. Ange's Beelzebub are worse. I do see similarities in the two, I can't lie to you. And he's nowhere near as good as Beelzebub. No one is, right? High line for life, mate. Exactly. That's what I'm saying with these Forest defenders as well. Lee Board. Do you know what I mean? Ooh, spooky, bro. It's spooky. Before we do get into it, I do just want to bring this to your attention. I'll also get up some other prizes for Forest fans and other fans, right? Check out this, yeah? This is an unbelievable prize. Viduka signed shirt, plus loads more Leeds prizes. Plus you can win £1,000. And also, it's 39p, people. It is 39p to enter this prize. Just 39p. That's insane. And you're getting 100 instant win prizes. So for 39p, you might win something straight away. There's some games in there. Hospitality tickets for Leeds versus West Ham and Leeds versus Villa. 39p. Nottingham Forest as well. If any Forest fans are in the house, 39p. Win this official Nottingham Forest signed away shirt, including Gibbs White, Amari Hutchinson. 39p. 39 pence, man. Plus his instant win prizes. And just for my man Lebo, because he was in here as well. Not Man City, sorry. I was meant to put Manchester United. There's a Manchester United prize. They're all 39p, man. 39p. What are you playing at? Listen, go check out Football Prizes. Link is in the description. Highline for life, karma for Wolfie. I can't wait to see Wolfie's response, by the way. I cannot wait. And Doyen back, we're going to make moves this season. Ange loves wingers. Yeah, 100%. Highline for life will match Wolfie's high hairline for life. I wish he was here to answer for these crimes. So, yeah. Right. So, Nuno sacked. Let's go through it. Abruptness of his sacking after just 3 games and some positive results in there. I know they got slapped up by West Ham, but if you want my honest opinion, I genuinely don't think it matters what the results were, if that makes sense. He was going anyway. There'd been a breakdown, and Marinakis isn't the type of owner that goes, well, he's been winning games. They say, no, you pissed me off, mate. Off you go. You know? Now, this is despite, by the way, guiding Forest to a 7th place finish last term. There was a period of time where they could have even got Champions League, but they got Europa League. I know it should have been Conference League, but again, Marinakis calling the shots. The Greek Shug Knight made sure they got Europa League over Palace. It's the first time Forest will be in Europe since 1995. Now, there was a breakdown in the relationship between Nuno. Can't forget last season when the owner went on the pitch. Do you remember when the owner went on the pitch? The owner stands in the tunnel as the lads come off, shaking the hands and all that sort of stuff. He's very, very heavily involved, and you need to be prepared for that as a manager. So I guess Nuno should have known better in that respect because this is his. You know, and Nuno even admitted that their bond had deteriorated. He'd said it in a press conference, which obviously adds to it. And Marinakis probably thinking, listen, snitches get stitches, man. You're gone. I am the Greek Shug Knight. You know, he said, didn't he? Was it where there's smoke, there's fire? He knew this was coming. I think he knew. And listen, he'll get a nice little hefty payoff, won't he? You know? David Morgan, man. He, regardless of what he was doing, yeah, Marinakis should not be entering the pitch like that. Should not be entering the pitch. You can say it was all about medical stuff and that. He was booting off, man. No owner should be doing that. I know Forest fans, I get it. Football's tribalistic, right? And if it was my club, I'd be going, you don't know what you're talking about. But if you try, which is a big thing, it's hard to do. But if you try, take your head like Forest fan, he shouldn't be doing that, bro. No owner should be entering the pitch. Should not. And given what Nuno's done, stabilising Forest, when he came in December, delivering their best league finish in decades, I think he deserves a little bit more time. But listen, if the relationship's broken, it's broken, isn't it? Exactly. This is what I'm saying, Lebo. Lebo makes a great point. 7th is their best league finish since 95. They've spent 20 of the past 35 years in the Championship that they've only ever won once in 98. They got promoted after coming 4th. You can't say fairer than that, though, Forest fans. You can't. And it will, for me, eventually it will come down. This isn't the Greek League. This isn't Olympiacos. This is the Premier League. And if you get caught napping, you will go down. And I think all it takes is a couple of... Genuinely, this manager, like Leeds did when we went down, we ended up with 4 managers in the same season. Jesse, Skubala, Gracia, Big Sam. We went down. Our squad was nowhere near as good as yours, right? But you're 3 games in. If it don't go well for Ange, you will be sacked. You're then looking at another manager and a different change of style. I'm not sure. I don't know. And obviously, Ange, is it? I think this was predicted last week when it was versus being mooted, wasn't it? You know? But he's a winner. Like someone says, regardless of what we think, he has won a lot of things wherever he's been. You can't not say he isn't a winner because that's what he's done. Even at Tottenham, who win nothing, by the way, who haven't won nothing for a while, he won, right? So you have to give him props for that. And I actually love how, like, forthright he is. I think he was given a bit of a unfair stick by the media because of the might. That's how we play, might. You know what I mean? It's like, well, how dare you? If he was English, it'd be refreshing. But because he's Australian, it's facts. It's just like when Bielsa, he didn't even know language when he did. Do you know what I mean? It's all that shit. You know? So that's my thoughts. I actually like Ange. I actually like him. And I've said before, you know, it depends where you are. You don't want him down the bottom end, right? But if you get him towards the top end, then you're going to see a certain brand. And of course, Forest fans now, we and Wolfie were talking about it. When you play Nuno's way, if you get results, it's cool. But if you don't get results, then it becomes shit to watch. That's facts. It's the same under Mourinho. It's the same on Big Sam, all these other managers, right? It is like that. West Ham fans, I mean, penny for their thoughts, would they have liked to have stayed with Moyes, what state they're in right now? But you see what I'm saying? Even though they won European competitions, it weren't enough. They wanted him gone. Serious, I don't think you can call him an average manager. I genuinely don't. I don't think you can call him any manager that comes to the Premier League is. I say that, but I hate Jesse. But my point is with him, mate. He started Western suburbs, right? He's not had no hand in this. He's not been given he don't get job opportunities like a Lampard, a Rooney. He's got no skin in the game. My man started working at Western suburbs in 1994. His most recent job was winning the Europa League with Tottenham Hotspur. It's not fair. So Western suburbs, South Melbourne, Australia under-17s, under-20s, Panachiki, Whittlesea Zebras, Brisbane Roar, Melbourne Victory, then Australia, then Yokohama, then Celtic, then Spurs. To say that he's just an average manager is not fair for me. Because anyone who can, it's a bit like the Thomas Frank story. Anyone who can start from here and still get here, it's insane. For me, anyway, especially because you need to be a name. He's had to grind to get to where he is right now. I don't think it's fair to say that. That's just my opinion, though. But it's quite a story to go from that to this. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, listen, he's getting the job. It's been confirmed now. And he's on the back of winning the Europa League. So, sacked by Spurs just 16 days after winning that Europa League. But he did take them to 17th, one place above the relegation zone. And this move from Forest is bold because we know how bad his league form was. And that won't fly with Marinakis. It will not fly. Regardless of if he wins them a European trophy, Forest fans, you'll know yourself, yeah? If you're near the bottom end, he will sack him. He will sack him. Because the thing is as well, there's actually a relegation battle on this year. Leeds are in that, right? Last year there wasn't. The teams were done. They were gone. They were already done out there. Southampton, Ipswich, Leicester didn't lay a glove. So they could afford to chill out in the league, Man United and Spurs, because they weren't going to get caught. But that won't happen this year. If you're down there, it will be tough because there is a battle on. 100%. Now, the connection comes between Ange and Marinakis, which was cemented at Greek Super League Awards ceremony. They're friends. He's not worked for him, but they have a very, very good relationship. But I still think it's mad. I still think it's insane. But why is that? Well, we're 3 games into a new season. 3 games. It's right before the Europa League debut against Real Betis. I guess it shows Marinakis' ruthless ambition. As John Cena would say, ruthless aggression. You know what I mean? And it is such a switch up in philosophy to go from a team that like to sit in, catch people on the counter to this attacking philosophy with a high line. High risk, high reward style. A bit like Bielsa, right? Now it could go one or two ways. Could make Forest amazing, great to watch, and we'll all be putting Forest attackers in our fantasy team. Or is the squad more suited to that pragmatic approach under Nuno? We'll have to wait and see. And do you know what the great thing is? His first game is against Arsenal this weekend, which is quality. Because there's that Spurs angle. So I'm looking forward to that. It adds that spicy little narrative to the game, doesn't it? Happy days. You're right, John. You're right. You know, they brought in Callum Owendo, McAtee, Bakwa, and Doy. They've got some decent talent. Morgan Gibbs-White, who Spurs wanted, coincidentally. So I do think it's decent. It is decent. But obviously, Marinakis is a tough guy to work for. Let's be honest. He's a tough guy to work for. And then Nuno's strained relationship with Edu as well, over the transfer strategy, calling the squad unbalanced. After he spent, like someone said, 200 million. So despite what was going on on the pitch, there's issues. There's issues off it. The football group won 5 trophies last season between Forest and Olympiacos. Well, you won none. So don't you mean they won 5 and you won 0? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, I hear you, NFC, I do. But listen, one thing I'll say for Forest, yeah, and one thing I'll say for Marinakis, I always remember when they got promoted and he did an interview, and I remember hearing Jim White speak about it, and he said, we are going to get Europe. We are going to get Europe. And in, what will it be now? Is it 3 seasons? 3 seasons, 4 seasons? 3 seasons going into their 4th. He's got them Europe. That's big. That is big. You can't, for whatever. This is why Forest fans come out in support of him. I get it, man. Because if an owner, took Leeds, because we were similar to Forest, let's be honest. We were in League One. We had shitty owners that sacked managers, brought ones in. I remember when Forest cooked us in the Championship, I watched it with my mate, Patrick Wood, and his dad. Big up, Patrick, if you're watching. In Teesside, he's a Forest fan. And they beat us 6... Was it 6-2? I think Dexter Blackstock got 3 or 4 goals. I remember watching it, thinking, what the fuck? And they had Sean O'Driscoll, I think, at the time, the guy who was at Donny. And then he sacked him the day after. But that wasn't Ange then. That was the, I think he was an Indian fella. Was it 7-3? See, it's long in the memory, bro. But I think, didn't Blackstock get 3 or 4 goals? We ended up signing him on loan a couple of seasons after. Or was it Lewis Grabban? Not Blackstock. Was it Lewis Grabban or Blackstock? I think it might have been Blackstock, maybe. Or maybe Grabban. See what I mean? It's all a haze. Bad times. But my point is, Forest were similar to Leeds in that. Yes, this is funny. This is very funny. They got Glasner, Riola, or Silva, but they get, less of the weight shaming and that. I like Ange, but yeah. Glasner, Iriola, or Silva, and they ended up with Ange. But listen, who's got a better CV? Apart from Glasner, obviously. Who's got a better CV? Ange. Ange's got a better CV than Silva and Iriola. You look at things that are won. Not obviously Glasner, but hey. But yeah, look, one thing Marinakis said, he will catapult Forest amongst the elite. And he looks like he's going to do that. And the facts are, not many clubs can chat to Forest because during Brian Clough's era, they won back-to-back Champions Leagues. Back-to-back Champions League. Mental. Which is mental. But yeah, super agents, Edu's influence, Marinakis, Nuno, it all came to a head. Soap opera behind the scenes. So at least that's over for Forest, but it's on to the next one. Obviously, what's next? We're going to see an attacking brand of football at Forest. And if you're a fantasy manager like myself, you might be looking at some of theirs. I think they'll go well in Europe. But I think it's their league form that we need to watch out with. And we've got recent history of that with Spurs. Great in Europe. Well, great. They won it. So, yeah, great. But really poor in the league. So we'll have to wait and see if the owner, Marinakis, is okay with that. If indeed it does happen, it might not. Because the pressures aren't as big as at Spurs. They are for the owner, I guess, but in terms of the fan base, Forest fans will be a little bit more chill and give the guy a little bit more time, I'd assume. But it'd be interesting to see Forest fans, if they had the option, would they have gone for an Iriola, a Glasner, a Mourinho over an Ange? I would dare say The other candidates that were mentioned for about an hour before it was confirmed, they're in Europa, mate. Before it was confirmed, I reckon Ange will be bottom of that list. They won't say it now, but if I did a poll or a poll was done online of Iriola, Glasner, Mourinho, and Ange, I bet Ange comes bottom of that list. And now they've got him as manager. So I don't, yeah, look, you want a Mourinho, others will say different. But that's my point, right? He would not have been the preference, 100%. That was his name. Fawaz won it, the previous owner, yeah. But yeah, look, Forest fans will look. To be honest, Wolfie said on here, Nuno out, didn't he? He said, "I'm not bothered. If he goes, he goes." Do you know what I mean? Some fans will see it differently. I know there's different fans within the Forest fan base that I've spoken to that see it differently, but that's what it is. Some will say the man owning the football club is a genius. Others will say that he's a madman and he's going to end up, tearing it all down. Be interesting to see. But one thing's for sure, they'll enjoy the football. Look, being a Bielsa widow, we got slapped up some games, but when it worked, my God, it was the best football I ever got to see. And it worked for a very long time. And had we have backed him, it'd have worked for an even longer time. So it might be a case of Marinakis just constantly throwing money at it, which he will do, to back him, to give him the players that he needs. Because if Bielsa would have been backed, we'd still be in the Premier League with a big man now, I reckon, if I'm honest. But even though it was beautiful, as the Phil Hay book says, the football that I got to watch on a regular basis was top tier. Top tier. So, yeah, you do have that. You do have that. But I still think it's a mad decision. But it is something that I foresaw. I foreshadowed this. I said, even before there was talk of this a few weeks back, I said he will go. Why? Because the owner is a madman. Sorry, Forest fans. And the league form will naturally take a dip. This was what my reasoning was. And he will be sacked because of that, which I think would have been unfair because it's hard to fight on all fronts. As my video told you the other day, why Leeds United will stay up. Because one of the reasons is European, 9 teams involved, nearly half the league are in Europe. That will take a hit on the league form, which means we can get, we can get thingy. We will get more points. But yeah, Nicola, like says here, at least we'll get to see something that will resemble 100%. You'll enjoy the football, of course. Yeah, of course. Maybe it goes well for Ange, and I think he's a better suit to Forest than he was at Spurs. Forest are bigger than Spurs. Like, I would argue we're bigger than Spurs, but hey, they'll say different. But end of the day, Forest have got 2 stars on their badge, so you can say what you want. They're a well-supported club. I've been to the City Ground to watch Leeds play. They're a huge club. They're a great crowd. And much like Leeds in that respect, I put us in that similar sort of bracket. We should also have a star, but we were scammed out of it by a crooked German referee. But hey, Champions Europe. I say delusional. Not delusional at all. So I actually think Forest fans, although bigger, in my opinion, their fan base, because of recent trials, tribulations over the past decade, he will have more time. It just depends on the owner, right? It depends on the owner. But to be fair to Marinakis, he never sacked Steve Cooper. That's one thing you can say for him. He never sacked Steve Cooper when they only won 1 away game. And the reasoning he gave behind that is because he thought it would ruin the City Ground atmosphere, and he knew that was pivotal to stay up. So Ian says, you're right. Forest fan will enjoy their football under Ange if he's in the Championship, but they'll enjoy the football under him. Yeah, Graham, he wouldn't have been your first choice. Exactly. I think the thing as well, what was I going to say? The thing I was going to say, what was I going to say? I'm Forest. My mind's gone. My mind has gone. It has gone. Sometimes this happens. Yeah, but listen, it's a mad one. It's a mad appointment. But it's one that could work. It's one that could work. It'll be interesting to see against Arsenal how quick Ange switches it. Do you know what I mean? Because they play. Is it Sunday they play this week? Let me have a look. It'll be in my calendar because we'll be doing it. Oh, it's 12:30 on Saturday. It's the first kickoff. It's the first kickoff, 12:30 on Saturday, live and direct on the Just Your Football show. So yeah, Saturday the 13th, 12:30, we'll be able to see. But I don't know if he'll have enough time to get that into them. And then obviously we've got midweek European games, etc. So we will be there. We will be there indeed, won't we? Smash a like and subscribe. Yeah, if you're new here, please do like the video. Let's see if we can get to 200 likes. He's rubbish, Joe. Good for us. He's not rubbish, Michael. He's not rubbish. He's not rubbish. Let's not forget, like someone said, the season before he got them Champions League football. Yes, the league form was shite last season. A lot can be said about, you know, the injuries to Romero and Van der Ven, etc. Maybe that's why this, you know. But ultimately, he won a European competition. We can't be calling him rubbish. Joe, call that clown Wolfie right now. Shall I call him? Shall I see if I can get him? The thing is, my camera is my phone, so you'll have to just you'll have to do it like this. Let's see if I can call him. Let's see if he'll pick up. Can you still hear me all right, yeah? Where is he? He's not read my message from earlier because I know he's working. Let's see if we can call him up. Can you hear that? No answer. I'll try again. No answer. He's got it on Do Not Disturb or something, hasn't he? He's got an important job, maybe. I don't actually know what his work is. But let me try him on his normal number. Here we go. Can you hear that ringing?
Mate, I'm on a work call.
So, oh, really?
Yeah, you okay?
Yeah. I just wanted to say. I just wanted to talk about Ange, mate.
Alright, I'll call you back.
I forgot what Australians say. What do they say? What, mate? No, what do they say? What's that thing? Not put another shrimp on the barbie. What do Australians say? Good eye. Bloody hell, man. How did I forget that, man? I was going to say, what am I going to say? What am I going to say? I thought, oh, I'll say that. And then I forgot it. You can't write that shit. What? How did it? I wanted to say good eye, mate. He went, mate, I'm on a work call. I got to go. Hey, God, that was fun though, wasn't it? Good eye. How could I forget that? I say that all the time when Australians come into my chat. That's a mad one. That's a mad one. But hey ho, it is what it is. Yeah, listen, Cobber or Copper. Yeah, right, okay. So listen, folks, I've got nothing in really. I'm hoping to get Wolfie on at some point today. We'll see what we'll do. He's a busy guy, he will be busy. But we'll hopefully speak to him at some point. Thank you for everyone that tuned in. It's nice to do something a little bit off of Leeds for a little bit. And it's done well, so thank you. Make sure you watch out the vlog as well. Also, by the way, I do want to say this, actually. Did you see Matteo Joseph chatting shit about Yorkshire, by the way? What are you doing? Did you see Matteo Joseph chatting shit about Yorkshire, saying, oh, yeah, it's not a nice place and that. Yorkshire's God's own country. I don't know where you were walking about, mate. But listen, just because it's not sunny all the time, if it was sunny, it'd be better than Spain. And them's facts. As a place, if it was sunny all the time, it'd be amazing. That's the only thing. You just say it's cold. Don't say it's not beautiful. Don't say it's not pretty. You lived in fucking Harrogate, bro, probably. That is very pretty. No, we don't have to give him a break at all. He is doing his best to get himself away. He's a bellend. He's a bellend. Anyway, that's it. Rant over. Enjoy the rest of your day. Might do a video later on. Might not. But big up to you all. James Hill's just signed a new contract at Bournemouth, by the way, after we tried to sign him, remember? So, yeah. Ange Postecoglou has arrived at Forest training ground after agreeing a deal to become the new head coach. He's back in Premier League football. He's all smiles now. Let's give it a month. Anyway, we'll see you in a bit, man. Peace out. Love for the love, man. Bye.